Hey everyone, and welcome. Let's just dive right into it. Today, we're bringing you a really fun, highly interactive self-test explainer all about, well, how well you can read people. We're going to explore the fine art of picking up on social cues, trusting that intuition of yours, and identifying some pretty complex behavioral patterns. As we navigate these tricky conversations and test out our social radar, you're going to see our stickman friend in the blue hat and red shoes popping up to help us out. So let me ask you something. Do you ever get just a strange feeling about someone, but you can't quite put your finger on why? You know, that classic gut feeling. Now, some people literally have a natural eye for these subtle social cues right out of the gate, while others, well, we pick it up gradually with time and experience. And neither way is wrong. In this explainer, we're going to watch a few short scenes play out, and I want you to choose the reaction that feels the most true to you. You might just discover exactly how sharp your people radar really is. Let's jump into the very first scenario.
Scenario 1. The Charmer.
This first encounter is a test of what details actually stand out to you in a seemingly super upbeat interaction. Imagine someone comes right up to you and says, "Wow, I love your style. You have such a great vibe. Honestly, I feel like I can just tell when someone's real and you're totally it." Okay, take a second. What stood out to you there? Did you happen to notice an imbalance in that conversation? Like maybe intense compliments right off the bat, or the person immediately talking way too much about themselves? If so, your radar definitely picked up on something.
Now, spotting that imbalance doesn't automatically make someone a bad person, right? Because context is literally everything. An imbalanced interaction absolutely can be a sign of surface-level charm, someone really laying it on thick to win you over quickly. But on the flip side, in a lot of different cultures, this exact kind of immediate warmth and heavy complimenting might just be a totally normal, genuine expression of friendship. Your radar caught the intensity, sure, but the context is what actually gives it meaning.
Moving on to Scenario 2, Spotting Subtle Unease.
All right, we're shifting gears from loud and charming to a much more hesitant, kind of awkward conversation. Gauge your immediate gut reaction to this. You ask someone what they do, and they look away, shift their weight, and reply, "Oh yeah, I do some stuff with marketing, kind of freelance." Did that make you feel a little unsure or maybe uneasy? If it did, your intuition might be actively flagging a really subtle warning. You're sensing that something in their delivery just doesn't quite match the casual nature of your question.
We all get a vibe from people sometimes, but a person's behavior can have so many underlying reasons. Your gut intuition is absolutely doing its job by flagging a subtle signal. But consider the alternative here. Someone who is quiet, distracted, or evasive might simply be anxious, shy, or dealing with some unseen issue that we know absolutely nothing about. The goal here isn't to judge the person standing in front of you, not at all. The goal is simply to notice your own instincts reacting to those subtle signals.
Okay, Scenario 3, the blame shifter.
We're stepping into a professional setting now, which is a fantastic test of your ability to spot deflections and avoidances when things go wrong. Listen to these rapid-fire responses to a late project. "The report was late because I didn't get the numbers on time. Well, that wasn't clear in the brief. Look, I thought someone else was handling that." So what behavioral pattern is emerging from these back-to-back deflections? If you're paying close attention, you'll notice a complete and total absence of the phrase, "I messed up."
And this brilliantly illustrates the concept of blame shifting. Basically, blame shifting is avoiding emotional or professional responsibility by constantly redirecting the fault onto other people or outside circumstances. If you picked up on this right away, it means you're probably highly sensitive to emotional responsibility. You notice when someone just refuses to carry their own weight. But remember our golden rule here. Sometimes patterns tell us way more than any single moment. People have bad weeks, and context always matters. We're looking for the overarching pattern, not just a one-off bad day.
Scenario 4, the backhanded compliment. This final scenario focuses on how we respond to sudden social discomfort and underlying tension. Imagine someone casually drops this gem on you. "Wow, you're actually on time today. Miracle!" Some people just never finish what they start, huh? Okay, ouch. How do you instinctively handle this specific kind of emotional tension? Do you confront it head on? Do you maybe laugh it off uncomfortably? Or do you just kind of hold it in and walk away?
What you just witnessed there is passive-aggressive behavior, which is basically expressing negative feelings indirectly rather than just openly addressing the conflict. Noticing passive-aggressive behavior is an incredibly strong social skill, and honestly, how we respond to this subtle discomfort says a whole lot about how we handle relationships. There's no single perfect way to respond. If you confront it, you're likely really good at facing emotional tension. But if you laughed it off or held it in, hey, that is completely okay too. A lot of us do. It's all just part of the learning process of reading people.
The meaning of inconsistency. Now let's see how this all builds together. We're shifting away from judging isolated incidents to recognizing ongoing, sometimes totally confusing, behavioral patterns. Here's a roadmap for how a single moment turns into a recognizable pattern. Step 1. You notice a subtle signal or comment. Step 2. You observe that behavior repeated over time. This is where inconsistency actually becomes a pattern. Step 3. Consider the causes, which could be anything from emotional immaturity to extreme stress. But step 4 is absolutely crucial. Assess if you feel respected and secure. Because honestly, no matter the cause of someone's inconsistent behavior, what ultimately matters is how you feel around that pattern. Do you feel safe? Do you feel respected?
Growing your people skills.
Now, if you went through these scenarios and realized you didn't notice much, or maybe you second-guessed your gut feelings, please do not worry. People reading isn't some magical superpower. It's a skill that simply grows with awareness. There are several major factors that completely shape how you read others: your culture, your upbringing, your personality, and your neurotype. Everyone sees the world a little differently based on these elements. For example, a neurodivergent person might process an awkward pause completely differently than a neurotypical person. Or someone from a highly direct culture will read passive aggression differently than someone from an indirect culture.
And that brings me to a really important conclusion. No matter what your results were on this self-test, there is absolutely nothing wrong with your unique perspective. You are completely valid to feel the way you do. If you picked up on subtle signals, recurring patterns, or just had a strong gut feeling something was off, you likely have a sharp, highly tuned sense of emotional cues. And if you didn't, you're just at the beginning of growing that awareness, and that's an exciting place to be.
So, after taking this journey through charm, unease, blame shifting, and passive aggression, how well can you read people? Think about how your intuition has